What can we expect from narcissists as they age? Let me say hello and welcome to you. Here, we'll talk about narcissists when they are old. Do they find it hard to accept that time marches on no matter what? To put it simply, will they grow? I'm especially interested in whether or not they change, and whether or not the change is good or bad. Another big worry is about the safety of their loved ones back in the outside world. How do the narcissist's friends and family feel about their relationship with them as they get older? Because I think there are always going to be exceptions. It's hard for me to give clear answers to these questions. But for now, let's focus on some of the most common problems narcissists face as they get older and some ways to deal with them. So, I hope you like this video and follow my channel. It's important to keep in mind that narcissists often act like they deserve good things. Someone could be rude and only care about themselves. People with this trait might be too sensitive, too defensive, or unable to handle criticism. People who do well in positions of power often act in a manipulative way, often because they want more control and power. First, if they didn't make an effort to keep in touch with friends and partners when they were younger, they may have drifted apart from them. Maybe they just got up and kept going. There's also a chance that other people left them there to keep them safe. Narcissists are just like everyone else in that they sometimes feel lonely. They may, however, become very depressed as a result. So, narcissists may try to make new friends or get old ones back by pointing out all the good things about themselves. Many narcissists go through a time of denial when they are in their mid-30s. Some narcissists are very self-centered and think they are much more attractive than they really are. But it's impossible to think that they won't be attractive for a long time. Even when they reach middle age, it's hard for many narcissists to care too much about how they're changing. Some narcissists might even want to try to turn back the clock on their own aging. They might go into debt trying to look much younger than they are by buying hair dye, new clothes, and anti-aging creams. Some narcissists might prefer to hang out with younger people or even date them. When they reach middle age, narcissistic moms often try to look like their daughters. Telling someone they look more like their sisters is one of the best ways to boost their confidence. In extreme cases, narcissistic parents might even try to seduce or charm the boyfriends of their daughters. On the other hand, a narcissistic father can expect his own children to treat him like a king. A narcissistic dad might think of himself as the head of the family, or even the whole family. Both of them and their children can be potential enemies. Narcissists like to talk about how much more they've done than other people their age. Narcissistic parents might also try to take the spotlight away from their kids. Those kids could be turned down, criticized, or hurt. When they find out something their child did on their own, they are quick to take credit for it. When a narcissist's adult children have set healthy boundaries with their partners, the narcissist may try to avoid the problem by keeping in touch with the grandkids instead. Most of the time, narcissistic grandparents give their grandchildren cell phones so they can call them whenever they want. Narcissists would try to get close to these kids by giving them lots of gifts and attention in ways that the kids' parents would find weird. It's common for a narcissist to see criticism from their parents as proof that they are bad people. If their children's marriages fail and they blame themselves for getting in the way too much, they may try to destroy the ex-spouse so that their grandchildren don't get close to them. Most parents will still take care of their own kids after they get divorced, but in some cases, one parent may choose to do so to help their ex-spouse. They listen to what you say, give you support, and give you ideas on how to improve. As narcissists age, it gets harder for them to keep up their fragile sense of self-worth. They lose the things about their bodies that made them unique, which makes them weaker and less interesting. Because of this, their desire to have sex goes down, which makes it harder for them to fool themselves. There's a chance that they'll think a lot about what they've done in the past. They try to win people over by bragging about how successful they have been in the past. Sayings along the lines of, "It's sad that young people today don't have the same tools to succeed as their parents and grandparents. Young people today have it much easier than young people did in the past. They had to get better if they wanted to do well." Still, some people may not change at all and instead become shockingly childish. People still throw temper tantrums as a way to protest when they don't get what they want. They sometimes show that they are very angry. It's possible that they'll start to complain about how unfair everything is and how badly society has treated them. They have talked about partnerships that didn't work out, plans that didn't work out, and the consequences of making bad decisions. They would have to give up their dreams to take care of their families, but no one would believe them. They might feel angry at exes or anyone else they think is to blame for their current situation. When people have more time to think about their problems, they get more angry and bitter. I've noticed that narcissists tend to hold grudges for a long time. This is another bad thing about them. Even if they happened decades ago, narcissistic wounds can still feel as fresh and painful as the day they happened. This is how narcissists remember any wrongs done to them. They try to forget the few times when they had been rude and self-centered. Narcissists don't want to own up to their mistakes, and if someone calls them out on them, they feel terrible guilt. They will always see themselves as the victim, no matter how much damage they cause, or how many people they take advantage of. So, destructive patterns might be able to last. When narcissists act on their need for revenge, they risk pushing away the few people who really care about them. And control and manipulation can happen at any age for many reasons. If they are lonely or alone, they might not know how to ask for help. Instead of focusing on what they want and what they need, narcissists should think of other ways to get what they want and what they need. This could also go wrong if people figure out how to stop helping or politely turn down invitations. In this kind of manipulation, it's common to use guilt and shame, like saying, "After all I've done for you, I don't have much longer to go." It's important to remember that some older narcissists see the rise of younger people as a threat. Maybe their longer lives have given them a chance to learn how to use force and power in different ways. Third, covert narcissists often have had strange illnesses in the past. No matter how much time you waste talking to the useless doctor, nothing will change. So far, none of the treatments have worked. There is no treatment for this illness yet. They are always in pain, and there is no way for them to get out of it. The moment their skull split open, the bullet that went through their brain, the sports injury they'll never get over, etc., will always be in their minds. At this point, there isn't much hope that they will live. To put on a good show, they may have to force a smile in public, even if their own grandchildren are really happy to see them. But when they are doing something they enjoy, they are often able to push through their health problems and get better quickly. Older narcissists, on the other hand, often show angry, self-destructive behavior because of all the years they've had to build it up. There may still be a lot of arrogance, but the damage done over the years has made confidence much lower. As they get older and less mobile, they may learn to depend on others for help, but their behavior may make it hard for them to do so. They might not have many friends or a lot of options. You could have a narcissistic breakdown at any time. At last, they realize that they have nowhere to go and no one they can ask for help. The truth about them and how dishonest they are has come out, making them completely useless. There is no longer a weak group that can be used to make money. Because of this, they can become even more desperate. In response to your last question, let's think about how older narcissists affect the people who are closest to them. It's normal for them to feel uncomfortable or even confused by the narcissist's gradual decline as they get older. People who have been abused may feel angry at the people who hurt them. Still, they might come to regret what they did. They finally lost it because that person's criticism, lies, demands, and lack of reciprocity were too much for them to handle. People still feel bad for them. If someone you haven't talked to in years is very sick, you may feel compelled to get in touch with them. In the end, the narcissist might surprise you by showing signs of improvement. They have no more reasons to lie and nothing to gain from doing it. Peace talks might be able to happen. At last, the narcissist may give the people who have been hurt by him or her the apologies and closure they have been waiting for. Some evidence suggests that narcissists get better as they age, but I can't say for sure. One could say that narcissists are more likely to be honest with themselves when they have no one else to lie to, no reason to lie, and nothing to gain. Admit you were wrong and say you're sorry. When they realize how little they care about being alone, they may feel a lot of regrets. All of their friends know that they had a bad name when they were young adults. They would be better off if they learned to be more humble. In a nutshell, that's what an older narcissist is all about. You always know where to go if you have questions or want suggestions. If you liked this video and thought it was helpful, I'd appreciate it if you'd consider subscribing to my channel. Many